have a motion to reconvene into open session?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Adrian, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Action to determine closed session. Action, student expulsion hearing, 16-23-24. Action for consideration of violation of California Education Code 48900A, sub 1, 48900I, 48900K, and 48900O. In addition, 48915B1, which states due to the nature of the violation, other means of correction are not feasible or have repeatedly failed to bring about the proper conduct. The student was expelled from all the schools and districts of the program. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept that.
Okay. Second by Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
Pledge allegiance? No? Also, I'm sorry, yeah, we had another action. We have agreed to accept a claim for injury 1102-23. The agreement is to pay up to $1,000 with a signed release. If there is no signed release, this claim 11-2-2023 AG will be denied. We have a vote of 5 to accept. It was Mario had opened it and Moore second, and the agreement was 5-0 on accepting. Procedural recording of this meeting is being made and kept for 30 days as a public record. Pledge allegiance. Mrs. Paul,
Put your hand on your heart, your right hand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call. I'm here, Sonny's here, Mario, Wayne Moore, Adrian, and Chris Madison is here as well. Approve agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay,
I'll second.
second by Rendon.
No.
Oh, that was Madison? Oh, thank you. Yay. All in favor?
Aye.
Reports and communications. Physics presentation. Mrs. Jones, you're up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Jones, and I have taught a physics class this year. And so these students here, but there was other students, but they weren't able to make it tonight. And so for their class, they had this project, and so they had to build a roller coaster. And there was templates that were made, and they were given. Everybody was given the same amount of material, and they had to use what I had given them. And then about every 2 or 3 weeks, guys, I kept throwing another wrinkle at it. Time, 2 tracks, some way to get the marble back up to the top. They had to choose their method of doing that, so they did. I did limit the tape because I knew that was going to be something I was probably going to supply a lot of. So I limited the tape, but they found their way around that. And so they've been working on this pretty much the whole semester, maybe minus 3 weeks. And so they are here tonight to give you their demonstration of their roller coaster that they've been working on. They don't know it yet, but they still have a couple more curveballs to come to them within the next couple of days. So it'll be fun. It's not anything difficult, but yeah, might have a few more Pullman coaster pieces of paper delivered to you guys. But they're going to go ahead and deliver show you their roller coasters and how they work, and then they can explain to you guys what they did and with their design. So whoever would like to go first, you guys, with your coasters. Which one of you guys want to go first? Don't everybody jump up at once. Start with that one? Okay. That's you, Jasmine and Naomi.
So, to preface everybody, it's called hit or miss, so it might not.
50% will work, 50% will work.
Okay.
Go.
Don't look at that
It's a hit. But this is our second try.
You get it done?
No one's bought It's okay.
That's the end of it.
And we're gonna go second, guys. So our roller coaster is called the monkey coaster or the monkey train. And the thought process behind the monkey coaster and monkey train is when we were building it, we were working like monkeys. We were just like putting stuff together just all around and everything and just hoped it worked, and it ended up working pretty good in my opinion. I would say that the elevator, like it still doesn't connect to the second track as you will see, but we will still carry along either way. So without further ado, we'll put the marble, and I would honestly move it there for everybody to have a close view, but this is very unstable. But anyways, sorry for the people that can't see. Let's continue. And it goes through the funnel here.
Wow.
It goes down there. Then it'll go here, and it would have went into the elevator, and the elevator would have brought it up and took it onto a second track, which we will demonstrate
Wow.
right here. Put it here.
And this is our second truck.
Right here. You see? Right here. It took a lot of trials and tribulations to get it like this, but we made it work. So the coaster it is today. Let's keep going. And then go through the same funnel dropper loop. And the beauty of it is repeating. So once we were to get the elevator to work, it would go infinite times since it would just keep doing the same amount of stuff. So that's on like the roller coaster I would get on. So.
So, I now present to you our roller coaster. So if you look at it, maybe not from this angle, but if you look at it from the side, you might notice, if you've ever seen the show Phineas and Ferb, it kind of resembles the tower of the main villain, because that is what we based it off of. It is Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, and we specifically chose the name Stupidinator because, first of all, it's based off the wacky names he calls it, the villain calls his inventions. And then also, at the start, again, like them, there's no coordination. Just seeing what works and just throwing stuff together. So, we ready? So, what we did with our thing to stand out, aside from the design, is instead of having one elevator, we decided to use a chain of elevators that go up into a track only last for a short bit, before going back into another elevator until it finally reaches the top and goes back in. Ready? Okay. So we're just setting down our marbles. And as it comes down through this first funnel, which you can't really see, it hits a switch where it'll switch into the two different tracks we have. So we have marbles going down both tracks at the same time.
Whoa.
Now we've had a lot of issues with that this section up here, but we've gotten it to work pretty decently. And our first elevator just went in and it's going up. And the second elevator got hit. Did it go in? Okay, well, we're going to keep going to show you the full track. And the marbles that did not hit the elevator are just now coming to a rest. And are, well, our elevators are not great. Really, the elevators are the part we had the most trouble with, but we try to make it work. And so now it comes down. It does a panoramic view, as we were ordered to do. See that. Before finally coming up, hitting our last elevator, which almost worked. But then it comes back down. Okay, we tested this. Did this work? Okay, so we have a lot of flaws with this, but we can work to fix them later. And it comes down into a little mini part made specifically for the elevator. It's going right back into the track. Not fun. And now this is our last marble going through. This marble's gone down the entire track, went up all the elevators, or is supposed to, before coming back down the track and coming finally to its conclusion.
I know. Oh, they did. All right, so this is our roller coaster. We called it the Chug Jug. I don't know why. It's something in a game called Fortnite, and just like the Chug Jug, it's to reinforce the player. And this roller coaster has been through a lot of reinforcements. Like on the bottom, there's rulers taped to it. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, but it works. Yeah, Lennon. All right, you go, Lennon. Put it in. Did you put it in? You didn't put it in. All right. I'm not tall enough here.
How tall do you say? It's like 6'4".
6'4", I'm mentioning.
That's taller than me.
I think I'm stuck already.
Ow!
Mommy. Mommy.
Here.
Oh, dang it. So close.
Just like everyone else, the elevator. It's alright. At least the one out.
Look at them. Look at the muscles. Cards.
Alright, and then
It worked. The elevator worked in Landon's garage.
before the transportation.
And Landon's truck with wires.
So our last, is anybody here to, no, the last group that did the roller coaster, the one that's shaped like the heart, the two ladies, they weren't able to come this evening to, show off their elevator. But Josh, would you like to put a marble in theirs? And
I do not have a.
oh, you don't have enough? I don't. Does anybody have a marble? Okay, Landon, you want to put it in and just show it off? I'm not sure the elevator works on this one. I think they had some bugs they needed to work out.
Oh, yeah.
But they wanted to shape their roller coaster like a heart. And they did a pretty good job at that. Did it have a name on it? Like what was it? The Love Tunnel, I think is what they called it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I got stuck again.
Is that the part where the glitter went into the elevator? Landon?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it was an elevator now.
Yeah.
Very close.
Thank you for the demonstration. Ms. Jones, good. Good demonstration.
Cool, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Go ahead and move these out.
Can we just put them like against the wall, and then we'll come get them tomorrow morning?
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, because that's what they're gonna do tomorrow morning during their class, if they'll come back and move them. If you guys can just put them against the wall. Remember, you can't break them yet.
I want to take this one possibly on that side, just because there's way here.
So we're gonna put it over there so that we can get all of it.
It's like all I just
everywhere.
Where are you going? Right here. Oh, right here. Yeah, so then we can put it back there.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we have blocked out.
And then that's me. Oh, okay. That's fine.
Thank you. You can if you want to. Then you don't have that one.
Oh, yeah. Every couple of weeks I go Right.
Right?
That has been the struggle.
That's complicated.
You know, so when they first did it, I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty much how it work. But then as they tested it more and more, they do flaws and they design. Right. Well, and then bringing it down.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Awesome. Good job.
Next up, we have the eating wall, that's,
In the email you sent. That's the email. The director of. Only the.
Good job, guys.
So we just check to see if Lynette is here. Wonderful, Lynette. So Lynette, if you have your essay, first of all, I want to say that when we hosted the Antelope Valley Vietnam Memorial Wall, November 7th through the 12th in our community, we had an essay contest with our secondary students. We had an essay contest at Tropico Middle School and one at Roseman High Early College campus. And one student was selected as the winner at Tropico Middle School. And we had a meeting today to debrief how we thought the wall, having the wall here for the week went. And we came to the conclusion that if we had it to do over, we would have let these students read their essays at the event, because I had several people approach me on Veterans Day and say, I would have loved to have heard the essays. So we learned something. So Lynette, I'd just like you to bring your essay, and maybe you can stand over in the corner there if you would, wherever you're comfortable, and just read your essay. You got this. Come on. You got this. That's probably good. Not too far over. Right there. Right there. Okay. Start with your title and everything.
What does service to your country mean to you? I believe that we live in the greatest nation in the world because Americans have always been willing to give of themselves. Since the birth of our nation, Americans have been willing to serve. One man by himself cannot do the work that many joined together can do. People are willing to give their lives, time, efforts, and money to build this great country. Before our country received its independence, 13 colonies bonded together and fought the British. The sons and daughters of liberty staged a protest against the Stamp Act. They dumped tea in the Boston Harbor and were willing to give their lives for freedom. Today, men and women are willing to enter into the armed services and protect our country. People are willing to pull together and stand up and fight for what they believe in. Without their efforts, we could not enjoy the freedoms that we have. We would be a weak nation if people were not willing to serve. Many people give of their time, money, and efforts in volunteer work. They volunteer to work in hospitals, soup kitchens, building homes for homeless, and becoming big brothers or sisters for children in need. Unselfish people working together can do great things. There's a Chinese proverb that tells a story about an old Chinese man and his 6 sons. The boys were arguing amongst themselves. The father took each boy to bring him back green twigs. The father took one twig and snapped it with his fingers. Then he took 6 green twigs and wove them together. He passed the woven green twigs around to all 6 sons, but none could break them. He said that each twig represented each son. By themselves, they were weak. Bound together, they were strong. Our country was built on service. It only continues to be great if men and women are willing to serve unselfishly. I am proud to be an American and willing to do my part in building even a greater nation. Service to our country has meant freedom to me and my family. It has meant a chance to build a purposeless life, helping others along the way.
Very good.
Thank you so very, very much, Matt. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing with us this evening. Is Carrie Bean here? Carrie here? Come on up, Carrie. Bring your essay. Carrie we had 2 winners at Rosamond High. We had several essays, and I started reading them, and then they were like, oh my God, this is going to be very difficult. And I asked Mr. Paul Irving and Miss Fallon Mitchell to come in and sort of be second, third readers, so to help me truly narrow it down. We finally went down to 6, and then I ended up with the 3 winners that we have this evening. So, Carrie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just a little loud for me.
To some, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall may be nothing more than a giant slab of granite with a bunch of names on it. But for me, it has a much deeper meaning. Most of my knowledge about the wall comes from my grandfather, who was a Vietnam veteran. I believe the wall helps me and many others better understand the sacrifices made during the conflict and the substantial number of lives lost during the seemingly endless bloodshed. The wall is very meaningful to me because my grandfather is considered a war hero. He's been awarded medals under the direction of the President of the United States of America, including the Bronze Star and the Army Commendation Medal. My grandfather has taught me, not through words, but with his actions, that those who fought and died for our country sacrificed so much more than we'll ever know. He shipped out to Vietnam at the age of 18 and spent over 2 years fighting through the bloodiest period of the war. His struggles with PTSD often hinder how much he says about what he personally did during his 2 years in Vietnam, but he proudly displays his awards, medals, and pictures of his family and friends that he lost in the war on a wall in our living room. It warms my heart to know that his brothers are being remembered in such a meaningful and publicized way for their service. My grandfather was lucky enough to return home, unlike so many of his comrades. The wall is a reminder of how fortunate my grandfather is to be alive. The memorial wall is a proud display of extreme courage under perilous circumstances. It's also an important commemoration for the families of those who lost their lives amid chaos. The wall may have been used to gain a sense of closure for those who lost a loved one, and it can be healing to see their soldier being remembered for their bravery. In the words of Kelly Strong, who wrote the poem The Wall, with the touch of his name, gone was sorrow and pain, and bad memories were quickly erased. In my experience, it's difficult to see a family member's name on the wall, but it also brings me comfort knowing that they are immortalized in history as a hero. The overall size of the wall gives me a better perspective of just how many lives were lost and how many families were torn apart. This renders intense emotions within me since my grandfather very easily could have ended up on that wall, and my brother is now an active duty Marine. The wall makes me more aware of how fortunate those in my family were to make it home. 58,479 names to be remembered upon a wall is astounding. If you were to take a single moment of silence for each name on the wall, you'd be silent for 16 hours and 14 minutes. The number of names stands to show the brutality and merciless nature of war, resonating within me as someone who's had to grow to be extremely appreciative of my time with military family members.
Carrie, if I think that you, would you read your title?
Oh, it's called 16 Hours and 14 Minutes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And do I have Betsy here? Betsy, come on up. Betsy was also the other winner from Roseman High. And I might just add, coincidentally, both of the Roseman High winners selected came from the class of Mrs. Veronica Carr, coincidentally Teacher of the Year in Kern County. So,
No, they're amazing.
okay, Betsy, start us with your title.
My title is Vietnam Memorial Wall. I have been alive for 17 years, 4 months, and 4 days. The Vietnam War lasted 19 years, 6 months, and 1 day. I have not even been alive for as long as the Vietnam War lasted or as long as these veterans were there experiencing terrible and traumatizing things. The Vietnam War occurred decades before I was born. Because of this, war is not a topic that I am all too familiar with. However, after learning more about it, I realize that I'm rather lucky that I don't have to go through or even think too much about the tragic events in the world, such as this war. For me, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall is a reminder to appreciate the ordinary, simple things in my life that I would not have without the heroes who have ensured our freedom in the United States. With all of the sacrifice and bravery of our soldiers, I am very blessed to have many rights and privileges that allow me to be able to enjoy my life and the little things that are a part of it. I get to enjoy everyday life knowing that I'm simply working towards a future that is mostly guaranteed to me. Those soldiers on the front line work a lot harder than I do for a future that they and their fellow Americans need. I get to enjoy living life without a heavy heart or an unimaginable weight on my shoulders to survive and simply make it home. While those soldiers are out there fighting for not only themselves, but also for me, I am here enjoying a regular day of school, hanging out with my friends, going out to stores and restaurants, and etc. Moreover, I get to enjoy these things without being scared for my life. I am very grateful for these soldiers. They have given us something incredibly important. One thing that really stood out to me when I was researching was an interview with a Vietnam veteran who had visited Vietnam for the first time since the war. He tells us a story about when he saw a dead soldier and decided to go through his pockets. In the deceased's pockets, he finds a picture of that man's wife and children. This story really hit home for me because losing a very close family member is something that I have experienced with my biological father. It reminded me that those soldiers who leave to defend our country are regular people, just like I am. They have families, friends, hobbies, hopes, dreams, and more. I have all those things as well, but something that they experience that I do not is a life of constant fear. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall is something truly eye-opening for everyone. The amount of people who lost their lives is extremely large. Over 58,000 people were killed by this war. They were fathers, sons, husbands, brothers, friends, and more. These deaths affected a substantial percentage of our population. We all have families, and if you're anything like me, the possibility of them dying is not something I worry about too often. But the families of these soldiers did worry about that. They had to worry every day and pray and hope for their loved ones to return home after months. Unfortunately, some people's prayers were not answered. All of the names on that wall are disturbingly real. These are the real names of real people. Knowing that they are being honored is a somewhat comforting thought. It is the least that could be done for everything that they have accomplished and sacrificed for every person in this country. This wall is not only there to honor these soldiers, but also to provide a place for loved ones to visit and see their names permanently etched into the wall. This wall keeps these soldiers alive in our hearts and allows us to learn about this war that took a devastatingly huge toll on our country, but ultimately allows us to lead simple, pleasant lives in which we can appreciate the ordinary things.
Thank you so much. Both of the gals from the high school were awarded a $250 scholarship from the AV Wall Committee, and Lynette received a $100 scholarship for her essay from her for participating from Tropico Middle School. And as you can see, they were so very good. It was difficult to select. The selection process was really difficult. Thank you all three for being here tonight and for sharing your.
Above and Beyond Awards, Ms. Gaines.
Oh. All right. Okay, speaking of the A.B. Wall Memorial, today as I mentioned, we had our last meeting with the entire committee and also with members from the original A.B. Wall Committee. And one of the things that we talked about was the whole week and anything we could have done better or anything that we did well, just sort of to provide perhaps the community that hosts next year with some feedback from Southern Kern. And one of the things that I've realized now since the onset of this committee work is that I have people who work in our district who went above and beyond. And my tenure as a superintendent, I've given out a couple of above and beyond awards, basically saying that these people, we could not have done this. We could not have been the host community, even though we were one entity out of three. Roseman Municipal Advisory Council was also involved, as well as the Roseman Chamber. But because it was held at our school, West Park Elementary, we had a large role in the success of this the whole week. And if you were able to attend or visit the wall, how many of you here got to visit the wall during that week? Yeah, I think you would all agree with me. It was truly a memorial event for Roseman. So I felt like I needed to acknowledge 4 people from our district. Well, one of them I've adopted in the district. He's my adopted son in the district, because anything and everything that we needed done, they did it. They did it well. Took a lot of weight off my shoulder, for sure. I was the person who did the least, to say. And I'd like to start with the person who first initially had the vision to bring the Vietnam Memorial Wall to Southern Kern, to Roseman. And I'd like to ask Mr. Joshua Saylor to come up, please. And Josh, I want to say, Josh is one of these guys at a committee. He's like, don't worry, I got that. Don't worry, I got that. I'll get the sheriffs here. Don't worry, I know. Okay, and he did, and he was there. I don't know, 24/7. Josh, I just want to say thank you for, first of all, believing we could do this, and that Southern Kern could play a role. I really, really appreciate that. And a little memory for you. And next, I'd like to call up my adopted son, Mr. John Jorgensen. John doesn't work for me yet, but who knows? John was given the task of taking over all the volunteers. And at first, when I thought, I know a lot of people, I can do that. Then when I realized, how many volunteers did you need? 100?
We did over 100.
Over 100 volunteers. I thought, no, maybe I better. Linda, Mrs. Linda Willis, who is on the original AV Walk Committee. Linda, just stand up, shake your hand. Recommended John to me, and he has a daughter who happens to be Miss Rosemond, and who's a student in and the Southern Kern. And she told me he's the guy for that job. Wow, was she right?
Yes.
He did an excellent job. I think he was there 24/7 as well. Pretty much, you were. And now he's taken on the task of, we're having a volunteer luncheon on January 6th for all of our volunteers. And John, I just want to say, on behalf of the entire Southern Kern, thank you for making this a reality for us and for RMAC and for, I'm speaking on behalf of the chamber too. Without you, it wouldn't have happened. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's your box. Okay. And next, I'd like to call on my right hand, left brain, right foot, left foot, Mr. Raleigh Davis. Raleigh, I don't know how, I'm not even going to try to say how Raleigh does what he does. We've got how many construction projects going on? 3 or 4. Plus then we threw the wall in the loop and it needed a platform and all these things. And when we first started this, we didn't know about the base or the platform, did we? No, we didn't know. And but as you can see, that wall was standing nice and sturdy. And this is the guy who, the lighting, the tents, the chairs, the everything, yes. Raleigh, I just want to say, I can't thank you enough, buddy. That's all. I don't thank you enough, probably either. Maybe I just thank you. I'll send you an email with like 100 of them.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you to have this memory for everything you did to help Southern Kern and the community of Roseman bring the wall.
Thank you.
There were many hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Many hands make.
Many hands that did all this. So it was a good team effort and it was great as far as I was concerned.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And last and certainly not least, as the saying goes, this gentleman is, I often call him my money man, I have to look to him and say, because sometimes I'll dream big and then think, do I really have the money for that? But he pretty much lets me know when I don't. But this guy, on Tuesday night, when the wall arrived on Tuesday, I'm out there in a coat and scarf because my knees were knocking together with a mask on because everybody at home was sick as a dog. And I was out there because I had a shift that night. And here he comes with much like what you're seeing. This is proof. The proof's in the pudding right here, even though it's warm in here. It was freezing out there and he's got on a short sleeve shirt. I was like, how? Then a little bit later, he had pulled his shirt down a little bit, like that was going to help. But Robert took care. He came out from where he lives a few minutes. How far away?
About
45 minutes away in the wee hours of the morning, looking for the security guard. He made sure that there was coffee and food and the donations were all intact, and he made sure we covered everything. He was there every single day that the wall was here. And I think he was the one who Linda initially trusted.
Amen.
Amen to that. Yeah. Okay. And I can't tell you how much pressure having these people in my district taking on these big tasks relieved me of some of the worry, because I was getting a little worried. Are we going to be able to pull this off and really make it? I know how picky Linda is. And she runs the Palmdale Playhouse and she's a picky lady.
Yeah.
So Robert, thank you so much. He took care of everything. Simple water, food, everything, coffee, made sure that everybody there was taken care of and was there around the clock. And I just want to say thank you so much, Robert. And Bob, if you'll just indulge me, I just want to share this with the board while I'm up here. Today, we received this from the original AV Walk Committee, and beautiful, as you can see. And all of these names are the names of the AV 76. Did I get
Yes,
the number
ma'am.
right?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
AV 76. These are the names of the 76, and I believe they're all men.
Yes, they are.
They're all men, because we only lost 8 women in the entire
Correct.
war, all nurses. The AV 76 who died in Vietnam in the war. And this belongs to Southern Current Board. So hopefully we'll get it in the boardroom or over in the office someplace. But I wanted you to see this. This was a gift from the original AV Walk Committee to Southern Current Board of Trustees.
I only have one comment for you, Barbara.
What's that?
What's your award? You did
I
a
don't
lot of
need
work
one.
on this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she did.
okay, next up, RTA.
All right, again, I supposed to might have to working on my own class, sorry. Again, just thanks to all that worked so hard on the Vietnam Wall, bringing it here. My class did appreciate going there and seeing it. And yes. Otherwise, second quarter's winding down and starting to get the grades organized and soon off to break, so. That's it, sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Is CSEA here? Okay, not. Student board member, we're gonna get to Madison again, but before I'm gonna let you speak, Madison, I need to let you know a couple of things that will start on the board. We're changing up the little area down there on the motions and that. Based on the conversations and the classes that I took going to San Francisco, you have what is called a provisional vote. And that provisional vote is taken first. Barbara says it's an advice vote or whatever, but you can also provide advice on the item that's being in motion. Okay? And then you get your vote, and then we get the vote. So you get to beat us on the vote now. And now we know you get a vote because I hear you there. Okay, so I just want to let you know that that changes. I mean, it will be starting. Okay? You're on.
First things first, ASB is super excited to have our first pep rally on Friday. It's gonna be winter themed, fun games, fun music, all kinds of things. Yesterday we had an ugly sweater competition at both lunches. And tomorrow there'll be a door decorating competition, and the winner will get a pizza party provided by ASB. So the idea behind that is the teachers decorate their 4th period classroom doors, just with Christmas things, and then ASB was gonna judge it, but then we also wanted to participate, so we got admin to judge the doors, and so we'll be going around, and then we will pay for a pizza party for the winning door. Moving on, FFA got our pigs on Sunday, and I'm super excited to say that I have a pig. Her name is Bonnie, and she's so cute. But there are 13 pigs currently living on our school farm, and they will go off to auction in April. Yearbooks are on sale right now in the student store for $80 until Christmas break, and then when we get back from break, they'll be $90. Softball conditioning has gone on pause and will resume after break. Same thing with baseball, but practice for the season will start on January 15th. Girls and boys basketball have their first league game next Monday, the 11th, in Mammoth. Girls soccer played Fraser Mountain yesterday and won 4-1, and they have a home game against Bishop tomorrow. Boys also played at Fraser Mountain yesterday, but they lost, and they have a home game against Bishop as well. Robotics has been working on fixing and improving last year's robot, planning holiday activities, and training new members and sub teams. Mathletes, I'm happy to say that Mr. Yu is here. He's the Mathletes advisor. They hosted a home Mathletes meet today, and the team as a whole got 3rd place. Juliana Manji and Alyssa Burton tied for 2nd place, and Karen Ramirez got 3rd place. Drama is having their winter improv show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We're playing lots of fun improv games, so go and support Drama. Moving on to West Park, their drama club did auditions, and they'll start working on their play when they get back in January. West Park float for the parade got 1st place for largest float. First graders have been practicing hard for their annual Christmas performance is next week. Friends and family are welcome to attend the performances next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Roseman Elementary is having a school dance on Friday. Tropico just began the first week of baseball tryouts for boys and girls. They're getting a list compiled for the first achievers trip to the Ronald Reagan Museum. And the last group of campers returned from Camp Peak last Friday.
Thank you. CBO report, Mr. Irvin.
All right. I'm also going to be very brief. I missed the last board meeting as away at conference, but I want to say thank you to all the volunteers and Raleigh and John and Josh and everybody that helped with the wall. Definitely could not have done it without any of you, because me and Barbara would have been in her office being like, I don't know what to do either. Like, do you crawl under the desk first or do I? But anyways, thank you to everybody that came out to see it. I think it was a great opportunity for the students and the community as a whole with the candlelight and the Veterans Day celebration itself. Let's see, working on a first interim presentation for next week. We've gotten an update earlier this week about next year's COLA, so I'm reworking my multi-year projection to have a estimated COLA that is closer to what is anticipated for 24-25 school year. So we'll have a draft of that in the agenda that goes out on Friday, and everything finalized before board approval. That is it for me.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent Instruction and Curriculum, Dr. Mendez.
Hey, greetings everyone who joins us here as well as online. Congratulations to teachers, staff, families, community members that have helped out with the demonstration in terms of the projects that the students presented, the physics classes, as well as Ms. Carr and who worked with students in the class. For example, the students that presented on their essays on the AV wall. So congratulations to everyone that assisted in the AV wall as well. A lot of work that was done in collaboration, and I'm just going to share some highlights from curriculum and instruction and some professional development opportunities. Okay, so I attended the Kern County Superintendent Schools Instructional Leadership Network. Some of the items that were discussed included projected budget, standardized assessments, data, multi-tier system support, MTSS, among other items. Ms. Gaines and I have been collaborating on next steps with Mr. Ken O'Connor. He's previously worked with us in the past with the Southern Kern Unified School District Grading Committee. Met with him yesterday via Zoom, and we're going to propose next steps and propose some dates for his continued collaboration with us. Okay. And then I, Naomi Herrera, visited SKUSD schools last week. We met with school administration. We had a chance to visit some classrooms as well. And we had an opportunity to observe student engagement, curriculum, the printed digital copy, the materials and the resources, educational technology, among other items there in the classroom. Professional development, we've had Tara Clark from KCSOS, Kern County Superintendent Schools Office, provided ELD training for administration last week. Also had Dr. Becky Wetzel, provided professional development on priority standards, learning progressions for TK through second grade teachers. And then she also worked with Tropico Middle School with their math department and sixth grade level chairs. So she's been doing some work with them as well. And then we had a solution tree where our team members were able to go to Bakersfield and collaborate with Dr. Luis Cruz from Solution Tree. And that is the information in terms of my report.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent Special Education, Community Personnel, Ms. Taylor.
Hello, everybody. I want to comment about everything. The projects, Mrs. Jones, her class did amazing. I can't imagine the commitment and time that was involved in doing that and teamwork. So wonderful job. The essays were beautiful. I kept having to sit here and go, don't cry, don't cry. So y'all deserve to win for sure. Let's see. The Vietnam Wall, I took my son and went to see it. We saw the candlelight ceremony. It was beautiful. Was very appreciative. I think SKUSD is blessed to have been able to have the wall here. It was absolutely an honor. And other than that, the only thing I have to say is we are, in my department, we are working on state reports, and we're preparing to have a parent night open forum on the 12th in our parent community center. And I have several people joining in with that. Miss Fallon Mitchell and Miss Campbellisa. We have quite a few people that will be there to welcome parents, just so you can see the parent community center, and also provide us with suggestions on perhaps trainings, activities, different things that we could have through there just to help provide services and things for our community. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Dale. Associate Superintendent, Human Resources, Ms. Hargis.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. It's always great to have students and teachers here presenting those roller coasters. That was a great way to learn and implement some of those laws of physics and have a good time and work with their classmates while doing that. Congratulations to all of our essay winners. You all did a great job. And thank you to everyone that worked on the wall, all of your hours of hard work. I know that the community was very appreciative. And as Cheryl said, it definitely was an honor to be able to host that here in Southern Kern. In HR, we did some paraeducator interviews yesterday. And that's always an area of high need. We seem to, constantly be needing additional paraeducators. Also, just trying to keep ensure that everybody's credential is up to date. Those that are working on credentials, that they have completing everything that they need to complete to maintain those credentials. So definitely busy, but that is it.
Thank you. Superintendent report, Mrs. Stevens.
I want to say, first of all, Ms. Jones, what I loved about these projects, one of many things that I loved about it is as the kids were talking and as I was looking at the project, I could definitely see where this project easily covered the 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. And that's awesome. Anytime you see one project that covers that many of now there's 6 C's, but they've thrown in character and citizenship. But I love the fact that these projects were rigorous and to be able to come and demonstrate them in front of the board and our guests this evening. Thank you so much. Outstanding job for that. Also, Mrs. Carr, I've told you before, the essays, your students, we got an envelope from essays, and I'm telling you, it was hard. The kids wrote really well. And as an old writing teacher many years ago, I was delighted. I was just like foaming at the mouth reading all these great essays. And it was just, it made me feel so good that we are still teaching kids how to write. And so thank you so much for that as well. I want to say to our lovely young board member over here that after tonight, guess what you're going to see start coming into play on the softball field. The softball field at Roseman High. The scoreboard. Do you know how long we've been talking about that scoreboard? I'm going to say close to 5 years. 5 years. It's a little costly to get it up, but it's all being done by Department of State Architect. It's all been approved, et cetera, et cetera. But I was told after it's board approved tonight, they're gonna start getting it up. Hopefully, they can get that thing up and we can use it before softball seasons. We'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, okay? If you see a pole going up, please let me know, a pole or two. Because it's really, really something I've been wanting to see this district accomplish for a long, long time. So yeah, that's one good thing. I also want to say that last year at Tropical Middle School, we sent 34 sixth graders, or 30, we didn't send them, parents sent 34 sixth graders to Camp Keep. And so when Mr. Irving and I talked about that, we discussed how can we open Camp Keep to all of our sixth graders, not just those who may have been able to afford, but really open it for all of our sixth graders. So we took it upon ourselves to offer all 300, and I think there's 305 sixth graders at Tropico the opportunity to attend Camp Keep, and we would provide the transportation and the cost of Camp Keep. And if I'm not mistaken, and Mr. Irving, please correct me if I'm wrong, it was around $300 some a student.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Thereabouts, okay. So we didn't hit all, not everybody went. Some parents are probably a little nervous about sending their child off for a week, even though they're supervised by staff and everything. But that being said, I'm very excited to say, we're still work in progress. We did better this year. We sent 130 sixth graders, 34 last year, 130 this year. And next year, our goal will be to try to get into the 200s of our sixth graders off to Camp Keep, because if you've ever been to any kind of a camp like that, it's a wonderful experience for our kids. So just wanted to share that out. Thank you to all the teachers and staff who have been supporting the kids by attending Camp Keep with them, and also Miss Atkinson and oh gosh, I knew the minute I would say this, I'm going to forget her name. My teacher at the time. Mrs. Marcardini, who's told me that? Mrs. Marcardini, thank you, Mr. Wheeler. Mrs. Marcardini, who's been really, really working hard to make sure that she had the necessary chaperones, etc., to meet the needs of the students. So thank you, Tropico staff, for that. And finally, I wanted to just say that as we talk about the Vietnam Wall, and probably the last thing I'm going to say about it for a while, we've thanked the AV Wall Committee. I've thanked my select team here that went above, truly, and beyond. I want to thank the community in Roseman, because the community, not just the businesses, but individuals, donated over $21,000 for this wall to come to Roseman, about $21,400 some dollars. And so when you think about that, that is an exuberant amount of money, more than we initially had thought we would be able to raise. And I just want to say to all the community members who might be listening, thank you for that. And also, if you volunteered or served in any way, please join us on January 6th at our luncheon, and there will be more information coming out from Mr. Jorgensen about the location and time of that luncheon that we're providing for our volunteers. So I think that's it for me this evening.
That's it. Thank you. Okay, board members. Adrian.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I kind of don't want to go over the same things that everyone else down the table has gone over, but just, thank you to everyone. Thank you to the ladies for being so brave and reading your essays in front of everyone. I know that's very stressful, so you did a great job. And thank you for your support. I do appreciate that, knowing everything across the board, not just from the high school, but from every school here. I don't really have too much. You know, I did speak, I ran into a parent over the break that brought up social media and Facebook and the things that are posted on there. And I encourage parents, anyone to come here or, I've looked for this Facebook, just to kind of see what's on. I can't find anything, so, maybe I'm not looking in the right spot, but there seems to be a lot of issues that don't reach us that I have yet to hear about, but there are concerns and I feel that we need to address them. So I think we should take a look at that because there are things going on within the district that we should, I have an issue with. And so I just want to let you guys know, I think we need to look into that further so we can look into, even if it's just, something to do with, the drop off in the morning or after school, if it's sports, if it's, just across the board. Please come let us know. Submit a comment. You don't have to read it. We can read it. I know the meetings are a little late in the evening when people are trying to settle down. So I know that kind of keeps people from coming. But I encourage you to please reach out to us. Reach out to Mrs. Gaines, your principal, just to kind of let us know what's going on because I care. So, thank you. Yes, that's it.
Dwayne?
One thing I have is about the AV wall coming to Rosemont is that, what was it, 3 weeks ago that it left? And the excitement and the talk that is still around the town about it, which is, it's just amazing. But one thing about Raleigh is in our construction meetings, he says, what is it, Earth Systems that scans the floor? They piping, electrical. Who checks for all the pipes?
611.
Somebody scans the ground. Who scans the ground?
Doesn't matter.
Utility survey.
Okay, well, I don't know the company name then. But Raleigh can tell you, oh, this sewer line's gonna be here and the scoreboard project, oh, this is gonna be there. And when we were at one of our dinners in San Francisco for our school board conference, there was these centerpieces and they had little gifts and there was one left because there was an odd number of us. And it was, what was the first graduating class for Rosemont High School? And none of us really knew. And we all said, call Raleigh, he'll know for sure. We were out a little late, so I don't think Raleigh was awake, but we figured it was 65. But
Yeah, we found it.
we found it, see, and he knew.
One person.
Yeah, Mario won. But, and congratulations to our essay winners. I know Mrs. Carr always says it's the students, which they are amazing, but everybody who's taught them shaped them into that to be able to write those essays. So you guys deserve congratulations as well. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Thank you. Mario?
Can't say enough about the AV. I mean, that just was amazing. And thank you for all the volunteers who helped out with it. Ms. Gaines, they could not have done without your guidance. Yeah, everybody around you did a bunch of work, especially Raleigh. I mean, I don't know how you put in that many hours a day.
Listen, Mario, there was a lot of people.
Oh, I know.
I mean, across the board.
Well, all your staff, I mean, they were all over
Community
there
members,
working.
there's a lot of the staff, yeah, Ari and his crew and maintenance department, Josh and his, I mean, there's just a lot of people.
Right.
A young man that I didn't mention his name, but I am right now, and I'm not sure what Jeff's last name is, but he works for Tolman Concrete, and he was huge. And I mean, we didn't know what this engineer wanted. I mean, most people are used to working with a 1/4 inch or whatever, and this guy was a thousandths when he was wanting precise measurements.
That's an engineer for you.
What a super nice gentleman he turned out to be. Just his first comment to me when he came out on the playground at West Park was, "I'm not here to supervise. I'm here to answer questions only." He was a solid guy, I'll tell you. So
That was, I mean, it was amazing, everything they got put together so quickly, because that was pretty quick. On the, Barbara's been working on that scoreboard for over a year. Finally, it's gonna happen. It just, hopefully it gets done before the game starts. Mr. Jones already left, huh? Oh. These things, they call them roller coasters, but they are amazing because of what they're made out of. It's paper, pretty much. I did have some suggestions to them, though. I like to build things, so I saw where they made their flaws, and I could help them fix that. But the thinking that it took to get those things built like that, that's what's amazing, and that's the kind of things that we're teaching here. So that's just awesome. The essays, you guys almost made me cry, okay? So it was good. What else I got? I think that's it. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. You guys watching. Yes, the essays, they were amazing. Like, I was just like, yes, you're touching me. They were great. They were really great. So well done, you guys. I love the physics. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It was physics, right? That was really fun. I felt like I was watching like Mousetrap. But then, like the plastic things that go together, like my kid got some, they're all over the place. I don't know what they are. No, they're not Legos. They're like that. They go with it doesn't matter. It was great. It was great watching them do that and watching them work together and what they were able to accomplish with great guidance. So I know she's not here, but great job, Mrs. Jones. Great job, Mrs. Carr over there. You guys are molding the future, and what you guys do is very important. I have a question for you, Raleigh. Did you guys change the lock on the gate at West Park?
which lock?
On the
Which gate?
field? On the field that's like in the neighborhood, because I tried to use my key and it didn't work.
Is it the north gate on 40th Street?
No, it's on the inside.
It's on
Yeah, on Imperial.
By the
Imperial?
playground, right next to the playground.
Yeah.
It's a
We
different
did
key
have-
than the south
Yeah,
side.
I can honestly tell you that we might have changed that lock for the wall, but I thought we changed it back to a 490, which that's you, I mean, Rose, you would say.
I was like moseying on over there to ref some soccer games. I was like, I'm not walking around. I got a key. I'm just gonna pop on in. Nope. Couldn't do it.
Didn't walk around.
I had to go get my car and drive around. But anyway,
I'll check it tomorrow, but I thought it was changed back.
I can, yeah, like whenever the
We
UA,
locked it down so nobody could come into the back of the wall. That was.
I figured exactly. I figured that's what it was for. But I'm just letting you know. It hasn't been changed.
Okay.
Other than that, we did go to the conferences in San Francisco and I learned a lot. I feel like I am a better board member and it's all about the kids. Like, what are we doing to help the kids? So if anybody comes to me with a question, I'm gonna say, how does it help the kids? Like, what are we doing to help the kids? I'm gonna look to you, Madison, for guidance. I love that you do talk about all the campuses. Did you know there's a dance at West Park on Friday?
I knew there was a dance at RES, but I didn't know there was one.
I know, it's a competition. Is Santa gonna be there?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I did send out a newsletter.
I saw that. I saw that.
So
Yes.
there's lots of information.
No,
out there
I'm
as well.
very excited. I will be there from 6 to 8. If anybody wants to go, Santa's gonna be there. It's free. Your kids need to be supervised. Yeah. Other than that, thank you guys for being here and well done, Mr. Saylor over there. I remember when you had the vision and you were like, "Hey, we got to bring this wall," and I was like, "Yeah, yes."
Is your key gonna work to get into West Park for the dance?
I don't need a key to get into the dance. They're gonna let me in. The door's gonna be open. I hope. Please let me in. That's all I have. Thank you guys.
Thanks. And I'm gonna echo on the Vietnam Wall. It does have a small meaning for me, as 3 of my classmates are actually on that wall. So that made me a little quiet for me at SKUSD. I know we're talking about the scoreboard, but when I got on the board 3 years ago, one of my first questions was, where's the scoreboard? So she already knew that I was going to start looking and pushing that. So, and we'll go with that. Again, I learned some things up at San Francisco. I just gave Robert some things. I'm going to try to get away from the code reds, the code blues, and things like that. Robert's got a big poster that will be discussed probably at the next safety and security meeting, and we'll probably go to that. And this is what some of those districts are doing up. If it's a lockdown, they're going to call it a lockdown. If it's stay in place, it's going to be called stay in place. So it's going to be no confusion. And they're also talking about, and where they're willing to help us, so they have my information on, one of the biggest things is educating the parents. And that was one of the big things that says we've got to do so that we don't have chaos. If something hopefully never happens, but we've got to be prepared. I have another thing for the principals. I don't see any principals here, but the APs, please take these facts. This is the junior high and high school. I was talking with one of the coaches the other day, and this is also for you, Mr. Wexler, as well. They were saying, where's the program so we can start helping our athletes get their grades back up? I got told, well, we got this tutoring area, okay? The coach didn't know this. So we're not doing a good advertising of this to the coaches, who we as a board have put the onus on them to, make sure that their students, athletes are ready, so that if they are out, they can, they're trying to get them back in. So I challenge each and every one of you to make sure the coaches know this and are trained on this. This is the tutoring. So please, let's get going, because these coaches are chomping at the bit for it. They want it. They know now, and some of them now know it's there. I know there's others that may not, but I'm not just talking about varsity. I'm talking about JVs, freshmen, the junior highs. Let's help these coaches out.
Why don't we hold the kids accountable?
Well, that's what they're doing. They're holding the kids.
Student athletes, so they're students first. When
They're
they get
students
the
first.
accountability, why is it the adults that have to be accountable?
Because it's the kids, students themselves are asking for the help as well. I mean, to be honest with you, I struggled when I was in high school. I wish I had the help. It wasn't there.
It's available to the students. They all know about it. It's been sent out a million times. So
They-
students are quick to pass the buck, but they need to own up to their own.
Well, I
behavior
don't
and get
disagree with you
themselves
on that, but yeah. But the thing is that if the coaches know it's there, and also it looks like we may have to do some training as well, because, but we know it's there. Now I know it's there and so forth. So now a couple of the varsity coaches know it's there. Okay, enough said on that. And again, the SA students, great job. Definitely hit home. So good. We're welcome for that.
Bob, I have one more thing.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Dan, when I was up in San Francisco and we went to the trade show, Acellus, I stopped and talked to them because a lot of times in these expulsion hearings, we hear about how these students are behind and, like we're railing them, like you're not doing your work and this and that. And come to find out, it's because these students are, they take let's say, 6-question quiz, and they have to get 4 questions correct out of the 6 to be able to move on to the next lesson, and they only get 3 correct. It throws them into some extra video help thing, and if they don't get those 2 questions, 3 questions right again, it keeps them there and keeps them there and keeps them there, sometimes for 3-4 weeks. And come to find out, it's because our teachers are not running the report they're supposed to run every day to make sure there's no students stuck and moving them forward. And Acela says we're supposed to have annual training every year for our staff, and they've been reaching out and we haven't scheduled that yet, so
We
that's
do have,
something we should schedule.
we have training every year in Acela.
Do we have it this year?
Yes, every year, at the start of the school year.
Okay, because they told me no.
No, we did.
So, okay. But can you make sure the teachers are grasping the concept that they need to make sure there's no students stuck for days or weeks at a time?
Okay,
Because then it puts these kids, 3-4 weeks behind when they're sitting there watching the same video over and over and over and over, and it's not letting them do anything. I think that's sort of an issue that needs to be resolved.
Okay, I'll reach out to the teachers.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Subcommittee, anybody have any reports from the subcommittees?
The tropical project is moving along. We've got a few stuff that's still being worked on, low voltage stuff. All the plumbing is still being done. The grading just started this week, correct?
Yeah.
And then at the high school, the main grading for the footprint has all been done. The asphalt's been taken out from the basketball courts, and we're moving right along. I mean, Barbara, do we have a rendering of the pictures of the stuff that we got?
Cafeteria, yeah.
Can we put it on?
Mr. Irving, if you would do us the honor, please.
Okay,
Okay,
Van
if you're-
for me.
Pardon?
Van, give me like a minute, 30 seconds.
Okay, we'll give you a minute to leave it. I just want to say that, if you can make it as big as you can, the colors inside that you're gonna see are not the final colors. My partner in color selection, come on, you're the guy. He's also got a background in interior design. He's being very humble.
You are the color.
Anyway, they threw colors in there and Raleigh and I looked at each other and went, no, that's not what, they were like warm and we want something a little cooler, but you'll get the gist of what, part of the project is going to look like. Although you will not see the actual, kitchen component of it where the staff will be preparing all the food, but I think you'll see it's gonna be very, very nice.
Keep vamping.
Keep talking, keep introing, let's see,
Do you need to screen share? Are you gonna
dance,
share?
oh no, I don't dance. Don't dance. And to piggyback, Mario, I've requested from Mr. Irving that in February, as we progress a little more, not only with the cafeteria, but Tropico, and also hopefully the West Park project, we may have a final design by that time, that he is going to do a construction presentation in February for everybody. So, yeah, this is the outside of the building.
Yeah, this would be looking like from the bathrooms, alongside the gymnasium, looking back towards the baseball field. That's what it's gonna look like.
Really, really,
Got the outdoor seating area with the covered patio. And then there'll be another eating area that's kind of like a little park to the,
right.
see the little park area? There'll be picnic tables in that area. So if you want to eat under the trees and stuff, there'll be places to eat out there.
That's beautiful.
Very cool.
And there's the inside,
This is
and
the
those
inside?
colors are the colors I'm talking about. USC is a great place, but I don't think we're gonna put it in our, we want something a little different in our colors, so.
Yeah.
Now, one of the big features of this cafeteria room, those two glass windows you see there actually are roll-up doors that will open up, and it'll be a walk-through area so you can go in and out. And this will be the podium area
For
where
the
the kids come in
students.
and get all their food, and then
And we'll also probably have some little tile work along the wall. We're gonna design it so that it's really very modern looking, 21st century for sure, yeah. But, and you will not see my pretzel machine there. Do you see my pretzel machine? No. Or the ice cream freezer that I want in that area, but they told me that'll come. So anyway, but you can't see the kitchen. What I love about these, and Mario, maybe you can explain this better than me. Over where you see those are like refrigerator panels, you can actually be working in the kitchen and create food and put them and pass it through those, what do you call those, Mario? And they'll receive them on this side of the wall. So they don't have to go in and out of doors. It's very, very modern. And,
half of them are actually warmers where, say you're doing fried chicken that day, they're running low, so the kitchen can actually restock the warmer. So the people out on the front side don't have to keep running back into the kitchen. They just open the door and it's there. The same way with the cooler side, everything stays stocked, and then they just pull it out of the front.
and it will also have a second ASB snack bar in it for events on that side of the campus, like softball, baseball games and that sort of thing. It would be a lot closer to go to that.
Both sides.
Yes.
The one for the football side is right next to the main entrance doors. It's up on the back side of that. And then the one for the like softball base, would be mostly softball because baseball would be on the other side, is underneath that patio.
Well, shoot, now I wish I was my little sister's age. She's a sophomore. She needs to experience all this.
You're going to go on with bigger and better things.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, thank you. The safety security meeting is coming up next week.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
I may be late or not be able to make it, but I'll be fighting to get there. We need to complete, Robert, if you want to keep pushing this, we need to have the command structure for each of the schools. As it would stand, who's in charge, and if that person's not there, who's the next? We need to have that in writing. Because if we have to have law enforcement there, they're gonna wanna see who, what, where, and how to be able to contact them. So we need to be pushing to get that done, to have it in books ready to go. That's basically all at that point in time. Again, I gave you some information that we'll probably wanna get a hold of the school district that's already got this implemented, and it really looked good.
School district.
I can't remember, Robert's got the, I could bring out Robert's got the, what do you call it? The slides that were given. I made sure I got a copy.
And one of the things that, Mr. Vinsfeld, I just piggyback on what you're saying. One of the things that Robert talked about at the last principal AP meeting was that we had all of the safety plans from each site sort of evaluated from an outside evaluator. And there was some suggestions made. There's unique problems to each school to advise the safety committee at the sites, how to better improve their safety plan. So those have been returned to them with, I think, some dates that they need to accomplish this transitional and additional information in their safety plan. So we need to make sure their plans cover everything as well.
Yes, but that would be exactly that. And part of that is having the command structure at the front. Okay. Okay, anybody else? That's it. Comments from the public? None? We'll dispense with the reading. Consent items A through E. Before we move on that, I'm going to ask that E be taken out and voted on separately. That's the approved clean water system or audio for the gymnasium.
I'll make a motion to do A through E.
Okay,
Second?
second by Hepburn. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I have a motion to approve the Sweetwater music.
I will make a motion to approve the Sweetwater Music Implementation Pro Audio Quote.
Okay, now second? Second by Mort. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to abstain, so that'll be 4, 1 abstain. In accordance with the Education Code, Section 35143, the annual Board of Trustees organizational meeting calendar was board approved on December 15, 2021, to be held on December 13, 2023. Mrs. Gaines?
Yes, the next board meeting will be your annual new selection of board officers for the 2024 school year. And you can see on page 21 that you have a SKUSD Board of Trustees board meeting calendar for your approval.
Can I request a change on the date, July the 17th to July the 16th, which will change it from a Wednesday to a Tuesday on that day?
July 17th, you want to change to what?
I would like to request a change because I usually leave on vacation on the 17th and I'd like to move
To the 16th?
to the 16th, one day early.
Okay.
A problem for anyone? It's middle summer.
I have nothing on my calendar.
And the only other question I have is October 9th. That is not the week of homecoming, correct?
Right, so moved already.
Yeah.
You guys moved it a different.
Yeah, we want to move it away, I mean.
I think it's already
homecoming, yeah.
It's already been.
We can get to attend because we would work.
The only problem I see with this now that I'm thinking about it for
December
is
4th.
December 4th. Next year's CSBA, even though it's in Anaheim, begins December 5th. I would think any pre-board commitments, like the whole day that we put in this year, would be on the 4th. So you might want to look at December 4 as well.
Okay.
That's, can we eliminate the 4th for now and then bring in a special meeting if needed? I know there's the 11th where we actually have to approve the budget and the second interim? First interim? So, can we leave it off and then use it as we need?
There's a possibility, Mario, that I'm thinking, again, it will depend on Leanne's calendar committee. When our Christmas vacation starts, our holiday vacation starts in 2024, if it would start, let's say, after the 18th of December, let's say the 20th might be the last day, then you could squeeze in a second meeting if necessary. You could do back-to-back December 11th and December 18th.
Or we could do the weekend prior or the week prior.
That would be November.
No, I mean, December, what would be the?
11th? Well, we have one.
Yeah, it's your.
Yeah, that's your
Oh, you
board
already got one.
meeting.
Okay.
Good pleasure.
Sorry.
I'll see.
Good night.
Thank
Thank you.
Take care.
I think we could leave it as it is right now, and then let's wait for future direction once we see the calendar.
Okay. Can I miss the 16th?
Yeah, I'll make the change and I'll add
Yes,
it
on
to
the
the next one.
16th, yes,
Oh, July, okay.
July 16th.
Okay, I will make a motion to accept the calendar. Or was that just
Just
information?
informational.
Just information,
Okay.
I'll add the July one to the
Okay.
next board meeting.
Thank you.
Next, approve resolution 20-24-05, empowerment of local tax revenues to anticipate pending claims and or litigation. Mr. Irvin?
All right, this is a annual resolution dealing with property tax and the amount that the district has impounded for any property tax disputes. The contingent liability for the district as of June 30th is $355.28. So overall, not a huge sum of money. If approved, this resolution would give the district, or give me authorization on behalf of the district to ask the auditor controller of the county to take our contingent liability amount and apply it, or take a payment twice a year, December and April, corresponding with when property taxes are due. And they will add the $300 to our impound account so that any outstanding property tax appeals are funded, and once decision is made one way or the other, it'll leave the impound account either back towards the district or to the other party of the property tax dispute.
I make a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay, so moved.
Seconded by Moore.
By Moore. All in favor? Aye. Approval of award of contract with Coast Construction Group for the varsity softball scoreboard at Roseman High Early College Campus. FM number 2893 in the amount of $77,616. Mr. Irving?
Alrighty, district went out to bid for the installation of a softball scoreboard, if you guys weren't aware. The Coast was the winning bid with the amount of $77,000.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
$5 years. 5 years for me.
Okay, approve the following listed personnel items, Mrs. Hargis.
We ask that you approve the personnel items as written.
I have a motion.
I will make that motion.
I have a second.
Second.
One more. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Last but not least, Patterson.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8:46.
8:46.